Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the people who come together to work to make this town a good place to live. Help us as we work to make decisions that will benefit of our community. Amen.
Roll call. Meadows.
Here.
Beach.
Here.
Hurt.
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Venable.
Here.
Dorman.
Here.
Stock. Young.
Here.
Hearing of citizens' comments at this time. We ask if there was anyone in the audience who would like to make some comments. This is the time that we ask you to come to the microphone. We do have a couple of people listed for special presentations, and the first one is Matt Schneringer. So Matt, if you would like to come on up and tell everybody who you are and sign in.
Good evening. My name is Matt Sneringer. I am the CEO of the YMCA here in town. And I'm just going to give you a little handout. I just want to take a few minutes to talk to the council, just to give some quick updates as to what's going on with YMCA. And I will start with, I'm happy to say we have a couple of new people that joined our staff at the Y. One we brought down from Indiana. She's been working with the YMCA up in Indianapolis with the inner city kids, and we had the chance to bring her on staff here. And we think it's a really good thing for us. She brings a little bit of experience that we haven't had previously. And she'll be working with our youth in our summer camp and after school mainly, and some other family type programming. Her name's Ashley Ball. The other staff, we had the opportunity to bring Mary Vollmer on board, and she's working as our sports coordinator now. And we're very excited about the experience and knowledge she brings to the position. And we have high hopes with some of our rec programming and sports programming that we do coming up. What I handed out there is what we call our program guide. That is mailed out to every household in Boonville, Cooper County, most of Howard County, and that's pretty much it. So we send out about 10,000 of those twice a year, once in the fall, beginning of the fall, late summer, and the other time right before January. So we split it up between our fall programming and our winter, spring programming. So what you're seeing there is all the programming that we're going to be doing in the next 4 months. All right, and you'll see there's quite a bit of stuff in there. And in there, on the first few, about page 4 or so, you'll notice that we added the addition of stepping stones. Some of you might have known Stepping Stones Daycare is located right across the street from the hospital. We purchased it not too long ago, closed on it in mid-July, and now it's part of the YMCA programs that we offer. So, I had a few questions as to why we would purchase a daycare center. And I can tell you, most people don't realize that YMCA's across the country are the largest providers of daycare, from infant on up to school age. We provide the most daycare. So it's not unusual. In fact, it's pretty common for YMCA's to operate daycare centers. We felt it necessary to go after Stepping Stones because it was for sale. It was for sale for a little while. And I know that 2 offers had fallen through. And after speaking with our board, Stepping Stones is the largest provider of daycare in the city. And not only that, they were the only ones that served low-income families with state assistance. So we felt it was part of our mission. It was a little bit of financial risk for us, but we felt it was part of our mission to keep that program going in our community. About 1/3 of the kids in that program are low-income and receive state assistance. So we've been operating that for about 6 weeks now, and things are going well. The program guide I mentioned, I wanted to also share with you, I pulled up a couple of stats just for your knowledge. We, as of January 1st, 2017, we have served 443 individual kids in our rec programs. That's not including summer camp or our after-school program. That's things like youth soccer, taekwondo, wrestling, swimming, that type of stuff. So 443 different kids. About 1/3 of the kids that we serve are non-members, just general kids from the community. Only 2/3 are members. All right. This summer, kind of marked a little turning point for us. We ended up serving 204 different kids in our summer camp program. Every day, we averaged over 90 kids a day in our summer camp program, which is a large number, a very large number. Previous to this summer, we were down in the 60s, maybe 70, but it increased by about 30% from last year to this year, it's a significant jump when you weren't expecting it. So we're looking good there. But overall, the YMCA is doing well. We've expanded some of our programming up to Howard County to help out. We're doing some stuff in Glasgow and Fayette as well. New Franklin, obviously, they're really close to us. But things are going very well. Any questions? If not, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
I would say, Matt, this is very impressive. When I got this in the mail and you look at it, it just made me so proud of what the Y has done and what they do for the community. So congratulations to the Y for growing this into what it is today. And I also wanted to say that I felt like the photographs in the newspaper were really enjoyable. I checked those out. Seemed like they were in there every day. There were a lot of things, but it kind of put faces to, to this. And I enjoyed that a lot, so I would urge you to continue to do that if you can. I know it's sometimes a hassle. So, congratulations. Okay, next up, Laura Wax from the Chamber.
I'm Laura Wax, Director of the Chamber, and I've got Jim Niederjohn with me today.
Hello.
And we are here to discuss a proposed change or proposed changes to the layout for Heritage Days. Now, you guys should have received a map with the changes that we are proposing. We're proposing that we move the beer garden from the location that it has been the last few years over here at the corner of 6th and Chestnut to put it here at the corner of Spring and 6th. And in its place, move the carnival from Kemper and bring it back uptown where it has helped and participated for a number of years. We feel that it will help bring community togetherness. The carnival is so segregated from the rest of Heritage Days. We have a very good working relationship with this carnival. They've been coming for 28 years, and they do feel that they're losing business because they are so far away from everything else that's going on. And there are a number of aspects to Heritage Days that don't pick up and transfer well down to Kemper. And this would be a great way to just bring everything back down, put it in a centralized location.
We were just kind of hoping to bring this before the council, see if there were any problems or their thoughts on it as to any potential problems we might have. We feel it is a very good move. It will consolidate everything tighter in one place. It will move everything closer together, and I think it will be much more of a festive activity type situation.
Any feedback from the council?
Is this actually the old map of the way it used to be? Because
I'm
this
sorry.
No, this is the map of the proposed, with the
I mean,
proposed
the
changes.
old,
Oh, no,
like,
not exactly.
not
no.
exactly, but
It
yeah.
used to be that Carnival came up past Derringers all the way up to Morgan. It will not this year. It will leave, it will only go to the alley here, and it will leave Derringer open so he can get in and out and everything. We have talked to Tiger Feed, Leaf Flow.
And they were very supportive of the move.
We've been trying to talk to Derringer, but not contact.
So it used to be just here in the back, and it looks like you're including the street as part of the beer garden?
Yes, it used to be in the street also, both the lot and Elkin Street.
So I'm assuming that you will, go ahead, Morris.
I was gonna say, the city is considering continue to develop Second Street and moving everything down there and keep us from having to close streets and block streets and everything like that.
And we have discussed that as well. This keeps people up around Main Street, up near the businesses. There's more parking up here for the visitors who come to Heritage Days than there would be down around Kemper. Power currently is an issue, especially for like the crafter area. We do supply power. We'd either have to go to, you have to provide your own, or there is no power available. And there are just some aspects to Heritage Days that don't pick up well and move down to Kemper. Part of the wine garden is the ambiance. Well, we could set up a tent down there, but you lose that historic and quiet garden feel.
Well, I mean, as far as power goes, we're gonna put power down there on Second Street. And, you know, we said no to blocking streets off to another organization and told them that we was thinking about bringing all organizations and developing that area down there. So I think anything that you'd have up here, you would have down there on Second Street as well. You wouldn't create a traffic problem or anything for downtown. But I'm just saying, you know, that's something that the city is thinking about
And that's
doing.
one of the reasons we wanted to come now versus when we usually come at the end of May. Because if this is something that the council says no, then we need to go back and come up with a plan B.
Well, I don't think that, in my opinion, the council can say yes or no because, you know, you just presented a plan to the council, but you didn't give us a sign off to the
Well,
property owners.
we haven't asked for street closures yet.
And everything, so, I know it was brought up at Tourism, Commission meeting, and they was very much interested in continue to, develop the Second Street deal.
I have a comment too. Part of the problem we had when Heritage Days was down at Kemper is the parking. And then we have to have people to staff the gate to block people from coming in, because you can't allow people into the Kemper property because you have to keep that open for a fire lane. So it takes a lot more manpower, it's a lot more to control that area because there's so many ways into Kemper. So that really is an issue too. We're not moving it down there. It just makes it so much easier to keep it up here with the streets. And then the parking is just very hard and difficult. There's no handicap parking down there, or very little. So it just creates its own animal of trying to figure out logistics.
I don't think there's any problem that, you know, we can't address and solve, but if we're going to develop that area, we need to develop it and not develop it and not use it.
Sure.
The one thing we want to stay away from is we've had crab booths down there before. And it was either for 2 or 3 years, I can't remember off the top of my head. And the vendors loved it as far as the shade went. What they hated was no one came. No one was there.
But if you, well, what I'm saying, Jim, if you have it down there, in other words, the whole thing, you've got one street or one area that you're gonna have your, beer garden, you're gonna have your, every activity that you're gonna have down here and blocking off 3 or 4 different streets, you're gonna have down there on one street.
We had the card show down there, we had the carnival down there, we had the vendors down there.
You tell me they come uptown, but they won't go down there.
I'm sorry, but we had bird boards showing up people.
Any other councilman?
It's kind of a moot point right now, simply because we don't have the area to develop, or developed and set up with electricity and water and all of the things that are going to be needed, whether it's your group or any of the other groups. The potential for the Second Street corridor is strong, as long as we develop it correctly. So I wouldn't think we're gonna see that development done within, what, we're looking at, what, 12 months here? 15 months?
End of June.
Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna have it by then, but I do think you need to keep it in the back of your head. Morris is right, from a traffic and from a control standpoint, it's gonna be a lot better, and it's gonna give all of the groups that wanna have big events like you do a much better place to do it. But as it stands right now for next June, I don't think we have to do anything right now, right?
I'm not sure where we stand. I just know that we're gonna try to develop a plan.
Right.
And then go from there.
Yep.
And I hate to say, yes, go ahead with this, and then, we get
Depends on
that
how
thing.
much planning you guys have to do. To me, if you need to start planning now.
We've already started for next year. It basically takes a year to put on Heritage Days.
I think Morris is right, it's a much better location down there, but I don't think we're gonna have it ready in, what's that, 9 months?
And, yeah. At the end.
I would agree. I think we ought to let them go ahead and, they've made some plans. They've obviously put some time and effort into this, and I know they probably know about the Second Street corridor. And, I just feel like we should go ahead and let them do this. They may come back and say, hey, we can't get the signatures to do this, or whatever, I'm not gonna say, nothing's set in stone at this point.
No, but
as Morris said,
we
nothing's
just-
set in stone.
The reason we're here is we wanted to say, I mean, this will require closing additional streets for a couple extra days. But we didn't want to wait till May and then, oh, no, you guys can't close 6th Street for that many days. And we've already told the carnival that, yes, this is where they're going to be. And now we have to come up with something different because they book a year in advance situation. So we didn't want to get caught over a barrel come the end of May.
But I think it might be pushing it just a little bit to think we could get everything done, because we need to really plan out the Second Street corridor, and we don't really have much of anything on paper, and it does take a while to develop it, and we want to do it right and not just hurry up and do something. So I think it will come along, and it'll be something that, will fit into the community real well. But as for this, I don't have any problem with them proceeding with this, but it's up to you guys.
We don't need a motion or
No.
anything right now? We don't have,
No.
as Morris pointed out, we don't even have signatures yet.
Right.
Okay.
So I would say, oh,
Yeah, there's a tent associated with the beer garden, right?
Yes,
Is it gonna be on a parking lot or in a street?
we were proposing to put the tent in the parking lot.
Okay.
At least I assume that that's what that particular group is thinking.
There is? Okay.
they'll fill the holes afterwards. they said.
Yeah, but I don't want any holes in 6th Street. It's a pretty good street and there's concrete under it, so you'll have trouble getting your stakes in there, so.
Okay. So unless I hear strong opposition, proceed with this and let us know how things go. You'll be back with
We'll
pages
be back
of
with
straight-
pages and pages of signatures.
Okay. Yes, I know you like to do
Oh,
that.
it's always so much fun. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comments? Hearing none, we will move on to approval of the minutes of the August 22nd and September 5th council meetings. Oh. You've all had a chance to read those? Were there any additions or corrections? I was waiting for Teresa to read them.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not my first time. Sorry about that. Any additions or corrections?
Does this include September 5 also?
Yes? So hearing none, no additions or corrections, they will stand as presented. Consent items. We just have one. Consider a pay request number 4 from Cody Martin Excavating in the amount of $75,340.46 for soccer field grading and retaining wall improvements. Do I hear?
Mayor, I make a motion this be approved.
Thank you,
Second.
Morris. Second. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Presentation of accounts and claims. Now we'll have to read this for a while.
Ordinance appropriating money, totals originally for September 5th, 2017 meeting. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on September 18th, 2017, the sum of $858,212.20. General fund, $173,082.56. Sanitation, $5,049.06. CIP tax, $16,668.69. Waterworks, $208,050.07. Capital projects, $6,239.06. Wastewater, $108,936.11. Tourism, $21,488.95. Gaming, $247,085.36. Parks and Water, $71,612.34. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $858,212.20, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on September 18th, 2017, read for the second time this 18th day of September of 2017, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money, totals originally for September 5th, 2017 meeting.
Mayor, I make a motion this be approved.
Okay, Morris, do I hear a second?
I second.
Thank you, Susan. Roll call.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Ordinance appropriating money. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on September 18th, 2017, the sum of $313,389.54. General fund, $116,384.51. Sanitation, $61,204.90. CIP tax, $22,389.90. Waterworks, $40,365.02. Capital projects, $1,800.00. Wastewater, $41,906.28. Tourism, $4,139.09. Gaming, $19,069.10. Parks and Water, $6,130.74. Section 2, the accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $313,389.54, being the total amount of money above appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage. First reading on September 18th, 2017, read for the second time this 18th day of September 2017, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Second reading, title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Second.
Mayor, I make a motion to be approved.
Whitney, do you
Second.
Thank you. Whitney seconds it. Roll call.
Meadows.
Yes.
Beach.
Yes.
Hurt.
Yes.
Carter.
Yes.
Venable.
Yes.
Dorman.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Unfinished business, we have none this evening. New business, first and second reading of bill number 2017-027.
An ordinance of the city of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing execution of a state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission, MHTC, to secure funding for airport improvements. Whereas the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission has been selected by the Federal Aviation Administration to administer federal funds for airport improvements under a state block grant program. And whereas in order to secure the city's entitlement funding for the designing of runways 18 and 36, north connecting taxiway and north turnaround reconstruction, and runway lighting replacement at Jesse Vertle Memorial Airport, the attached state block grant agreement must be executed by the city no later than September 30th, 2017. And whereas the attached agreement marked Exhibit A provides for the maximum allocation of state block grant funds available to the city for this project, which amount is subject to modification based on actual project costs, and obligates the city, among other things, to furnish up to 10% of the actual project cost for the airport improvements. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the City of Boonville, Missouri hereby authorizes the mayor to execute on its behalf the state block grant agreement with the MHTC attached hereto as Exhibit A, and incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein. Section 2, that this ordinance authorizing the agreement is effective immediately, and the attached and executed agreement shall take effect and be in full force from and after both parties have signed it. First and second reading, September 18th, 2017. Read for the second time and passed this 18th day of September 2017, after a copy of this ordinance and referenced agreement have been made available for public inspection prior to its first reading.
Second reading, title only.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing execution of a state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission, MHTC, to secure funding for airport improvements.
Mayor, make a motion this be approved.
Thank you, Morris. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Thank you, Susan. Questions or comments? There's quite a bit of reading that goes along with that.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, I'm sure Earl
It
would
was
be
even a
glad
lot for Ned.
to explain it all. Is there any questions, seriously? Roll call.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
And now we'll do first and second reading of bill number 2017-028, authorizing an agreement with H.W. Lochner for consultant services for these improvements.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing and approving an agreement with H.W. Lochner Incorporated to provide airport engineering services. Whereas the City of Boonville Airport Board has solicited and received statements of qualifications for airport engineering services, and whereas the City of Boonville Airport Board has reviewed the proposals and recommends that H.W. Lochner Incorporated represents the most qualified firm, and whereas the City of Boonville's past experience with H.W. Lochner Incorporated has been good, and whereas the City of Boonville has received approval to proceed with a project for the design of runways 18 and 36, north connecting taxiway, and north turnaround reconstruction, and runway lighting replacement at Jesse Vertle Memorial Airport. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the City of Boonville, Missouri hereby authorizes and approves the mayor to execute on its behalf the agreement with H.W. Lochner Incorporated attached hereto as Exhibit A and incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein. Section 2, that this ordinance authorizing the agreement is effective immediately, and the attached and executed agreement shall take effect and be in full force from and after both parties have signed it. First and second reading, September 18th, 2017. Read for the second time and passed this 18th day of September 2017, after a copy of this ordinance and referenced agreement have been made available for public inspection prior to its first reading.
Second reading, title only.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing and approving an agreement with H.W. Lochner Incorporated to provide airport engineering services.
Mayor, make a motion this be approved.
Thank you, Morris. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Whitney. Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Meadows,
Yes.
Beach,
Yes.
Hurt,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Okay. Been talking about this for quite a while. Item C, first reading of bill number 2017-029.
An ordinance amending Chapter 10 of the Boonville Code of General Ordinances.
Reports of standing committees. Street, alley, and sanitation, Mike is not here. Did they meet? I don't think, no. No meeting. Board of Public Works, Susan?
Yes, they met,
Okay.
and they approved bills, elected the chairman, who is Ed Scrivener, and ML reported on the disinfection byproduct samples.
Okay. I might just note that Ed Scrivener is taking Wade Davis's place, and he has been on that committee for how many years?
Decades.
Well, yeah, Ed, Mr. Davis has been on the board, and we don't really know, but sometime since the 1970s. Ed's been on the board, I don't know, 10 or 12 years, and he's taken his place as chairman. Mr. Davis had been the chairman for those 40 years.
That's pretty amazing, and we certainly owe him a great deal of gratitude for attending all those meetings, so. Tourism Commission, Morris?
We had a real good meeting, talked about several things, growing down there and expanding, and I guess one of the main subjects or topics is how well people said that they was treated when they was in Boonville. And I think we actually had a larger crowd for the eclipse than what we realized.
Yeah.
There was several locations that was full, and I want to give praise to the tourism and the city workers that went down there to give a good representation for the city of Boonville. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we talked about Second Street, and they thought that was a real good idea to develop that.
Okay. Very good. Any questions? Yes.
The solar eclipse recap, was that a written document or was that just conversation? Morris? Is that something we can get a copy? Thank you.
Does all the council want a copy, or do you want to call Teresa if you want one? Why don't you call Teresa if you'd like a copy of that?
Or email me. That's
Or
fine.
email.
That's
Do
fine.
I have to holler at you?
No, you can talk nicely.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, reports of city officials, city administrator, code enforcement update.
Kate or Carissa, whoever wants to take the lead.
No one? I put a report together just on the things that have been referred to me since I started taking these matters through the Associate Circuit Court. And it's a cumulative report that I put together back from the first time we went over the list to just things that we closed out in the week leading up to the last council meeting. It's been busy. We're getting a lot of compliance just with filing and monitoring for progress. Almost everyone comes to court when they get served with a summons. Not everything is corrected by the first appearance, but a lot of times by the second appearance, and certainly by the time it's set for trial, people are ready and have their issues taken care of, whether it's a derelict vehicle or property maintenance issues that are causing problems. And so it's been working out really well, I think. And we will continue.
Very good.
And then Paula had put together a list that the second, or the last page of that is things that are in the works just on the correspondence side. There's letters that go out, certified letters, time limits that go out to property owners before I get the cases. A lot of times we see remediation during that process. So these are just some additional ones that may get resolved before they have to come my way.
Seems to be working out very well. Getting a lot more done. Any questions for Carissa or Earl or Kate? One thing I have heard is you're talking about so many people, how well they're treated, but I've also hear a lot of comments about how nice Boonville looks. So, I realized that this year we had a lot of rain and the grass was green and pretty and all that stuff, but I think we are making a noticeable difference with making the city more attractive, and people are noticing it and commenting on it. So I hope you guys hear those comments also, because I certainly do.
If I remember correctly, Mayor, didn't Katie say that there had already been several people that came in during the eclipse that has come back to Boonville already?
Yeah, that people had come in, so we did a nice job cleaning it up too. I just wanna say that Carissa should get a lot of credit, because there are some people that we were probably like, good luck, and we've gotten a lot of compliance, so I think this strategy of handing it to Carissa has really enhanced our compliance factor, so, and I think in part the word is out, so when Paula sends letters about cars, people know there's another Hammer after us, so it's been really great, so.
Okay. Thanks,
And
Kate.
we have learned a whole lot, so when the next one comes around, we know what to do.
That's right. When is that, Morris? A long time. I don't think
A
I
long time.
won't be here for the next one. So, okay, Mayor, I have nothing to report. City Councilor?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
City Clerk?
I have nothing tonight.
Okay, miscellaneous. Anybody have any miscellaneous? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Here a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.